First order of business. Slightly different look, but it's not really anything special going on. I'm just in the same room. I'm just standing up. So I have a really sedentary life. Like I sit at my desk all day. So I figured why not stand at your desk for a change, right? So hopefully it's cool and it don't look too crazy. I feel like my face being this close to the camera is a little bit nuts, but it is what it is. I'm a human being. And so why are we here today? First of all, I hope you're having a good day. Happy Saturday. I hope you're enjoying your weekend so far. All of the good stuff. Happy whatever day you see this. And hopefully you like it. If you like it, you'll like the video and come hang out with me for a little bit more. And if you don't like it, I'll catch you next time because hopefully you'll be back. um, let's get into the fun stuff, right? So, reason why I'm here. I'm here because there's this whole conversation happening with Claressa, and I don't want to make it a habit of just like kicking her back in or nothing like that, but I want to kind of rehash the video that I did previously where I made the comment about like my pops made this statement to me about the dude that I was messing with, like be mindful of who you dealing with on the basis that like you become them, right? You know how people say, you know, show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are. Like naturally you start to become like the people that you spend most of your time with. And this is an example of proximity becoming problematic. And I also think that this is an example of what I mean, where this is why she's not necessarily like a brand's opt for, right? Like this is the type of aversion that they assess when they are thinking about risk and doing brand relationships with certain people. So this whole situation with her and Latto, like the fact that Latto got swallowed up into this whole mistress conversation is exactly what I mean when I say like you need to be mindful of who you chilling with and why you have people in your space and what it can do. So we all know that Latto and 21 Savage have been a dynamic for years. This is not a new conversation. This is not some new shit. This is not like a revelation of any kind. There's nothing to suggest that's like, oh, we didn't know and he's a this and he's a that. And I'm not even here to necessarily run defense for them, but I'm like, everybody's talking about, oh, because I think what happened was like Charleston White was someplace. And of course, his video, his commentary got clipped and highlighted and it's now going viral. And the conversation about colorism has come up. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all. So like it starts off with Charleston White and then Latto is now coming out and having something to say and it's creating this new land of discourse based on proximity to Claressa Shields and Pat Pooh. So take a look.
Why y'all don't talk about 21 Savage and Latto? Latto don't get no backlash for getting pregnant by a married nigga. If Claressa Shields was a light-skinned girl, mixed breed, nobody would have a problem with her. But because she's a darker skin complected black woman, who's in physical shape, you can't beat her up. She got a mouth on her. She speaks out against somebody who speaks up against her. And they're trying to vilify her. Why are they trying to vilify her? Because Papoose and Remy Ma had a public separation. Remy Ma got caught cheating with another nigga. She left Papoose for another nigga. Papoose stayed single for a while. Took him a year or so, and he got with Claressa. Claressa, man, keep holding your head up. They hating on you. But I promise you, if you was a light-skinned sister, you wouldn't have any problem. They don't give Latto no problem. Latto over her acting like she's a boss bitch, playing doghouse with 21 Savage and his wife. Come on now. This bitch playing surrogate mother, like she really started out being a surrogate mother. She was the side bitch that got pregnant.
Fucking no married man, bitch. Bitch! You loud and wrong, bitch boy. Old ass, broke ass nigga. I am a boss. I am a boss. I could buy you, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids. Bitch! Not a nigga. Me, the boss.
So now the whole reason that we are even at this place is because Claressa is about to have a fight. I think, as a matter of fact, I think her fight is next weekend type shit. Yeah, next weekend. Let me also preface this with like previously I try to have conversations from a place of nuance and empathy and that sort of thing. And I'm still going to exhibit as much of that as possible. But if I get a little bit more rugged, it's because like this is how I would talk to my friends and family in real life about like some shit that they doing. So forgive me in advance because it's gonna come across a little bit rougher than typical. At the same time, like it's cool. So Claressa goes on this radio show because she's running the press tour because she's at an arena for her next fight. Now I peeped the next fight and I tried my best not to give too much commentary on it because I really don't like the idea of like just shitting on people's lives. And I feel like a lot of people is kind of shitting on her life a little bit. And this has become kind of normalized. Like where people think that because they on the internet, they talking or whatever the case might be, that you could kind of just speak adversely about folks and just, real just mean-spirited stuff. And that's a new clippable kind of market. That's a new kind of we make money talking smack this kind of way, right? Cool. I'm not knocking nobody. You get into your bag or whatever the case might be. But as a celebrity, public figure, anything like that, they got to be extra careful and extra tough about it. I digress. Shorty go on this radio show. She have a conversation, and then this piece gets clipped of the radio host. I think her name is like Miss Shanika. She's like a ATL radio host legend type joint. Here go the clip.
Much longer are you willing to be in a relationship with somebody's husband? Because at the end of the day, that's what people are looking at.
Well, pause.
Okay.
Pause, because that's not somebody's husband.
Okay.
Papoose filed for divorce. Y'all hate to say that word, but it's the word that's out there. He filed for divorce because he's serious about me. So I'm not with somebody's husband.
Okay.
And if you're going to call him her husband, make sure you call her his wife. And also hold her accountable for what she's doing in her life. Because she has a man who she's big about. So don't make it seem like it's just one-sided. I'm not with somebody's husband. I'm with the man who filed for divorce, who's serious about me, who has done things for me that I've done for him. So that's not what it is. They say that because they want that to be the narrative, but that's not it. People go through divorces and breakups more than anything in the world. That's why it's such a big talk.
Oh, we know.
Oh, I just got divorced.
I'm in one right now. Look,
But divorces take time.
Yes, it does.
And he's going through the processes. He's been through the courts. It is what it is.
Sis asked her a simple question. Wasn't a big deal. It didn't require all that crazy stuff. But of course, when the question comes out into the public space, there's a lot more rhetoric that comes behind it. Once that rhetoric starts to go crazy on the internet and the virality associated with the clip is not positive for Claressa come out and she now talking smoky with Shorty and she talking about throwing hands. And here's her little snippet. I'm going to insert it here. Where essentially she's talking about like she gonna knock niggas out, all types of stuff. I'm like, that's a lie, right? If you gonna make a clip out of something or if you gonna do something big, I said if you're not doing put some respect on my name type antics, you might as well leave the radio host alone. Because inevitably you're gonna leave from that situation looking relatively corny if you full court press the radio host and it don't really make sense. Like, so leaving the radio and pressing the issue in this way makes it look worse. Because now it's just like, yo, you a trained professional. Why are you acting scary? Digress. She go ahead, she hit the Cam Newton joint, right? So in between her getting to Cam Newton and this radio situation, there's a series of back and forths that happens, right? Like she says some fly joint, she posts that comment, and then Miss Shanika comes out and she's doing like an interview or something like that. And Miss Shanika is like, yeah, like I'm talking to her from a place of like, I feel like Buddy playing in your face. And a lot of us feel like Buddy is playing in her face. So I didn't take it as Miss Shanika was doing anything rude or disrespectful or nothing like that. Like, was the question like a little bit brass? Yeah. Did it taste a little nasty? Yeah. But if it was outright malicious, I disagree. I don't think so. I think that she just an auntie that's like, yo, you too candid, you gotta chill type of stuff. But everybody has a right to take things how they take things, and which is why I say, like, if Claressa was going to be in her bag, she should have pressed her at the time. To come onto the internet after the fact, you just look wild. Again, especially as a trained professional. My opinion, though. So, Shanika go and do her thing. She talking to people. Claressa jump on the live. She wilding. She doing all type of crazy stuff. I'm going to see if I can find some clips to insert in here so that y'all can see it.
Shanika, your big fat ass sat up there and talk that shit to me. And then when I checked you, respectfully, in your face. In your face. You shut all that disrespectful shit up. Now, after the fact, you got all this lip and talking all this shit because you never got this much attention before in your life. Being a radio host, I didn't even know who you was. I came there for Jock and Shorty. I did not come there for you. But the fact that you asked a question in such a distasteful way, and I answered you like the professional that I am, now you want to go on these rants and talking about some Pat with me for this reason, Pat with me for that reason, blah, 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 blah. You didn't say none of that stuff when you were sitting there in my presence. Why you didn't say it? Why you didn't say it? Because I gave you space and opportunity. I answered you respectfully and left you where it was at. I didn't check, like, well, yeah, I did check you, but I didn't, like, go off how somebody else would have went off on you because you was very disrespectful. So now you got all this shit to say, but didn't you just go through a divorce because you cheated on your man? So you are a part of the cheat on my husband committee. You the leader of the shit. Or is you the CEO? Like, which one is you? Is you the head or the... Because how the fuck you mad at me because I told you that my man is going through a divorce, so us do not consider him a married man. He's a separated man going through a divorce. But bitch, you sit here and cheat on your husband with a barber. And you got the nerve to talk about me? Girl, bye. And you went through a whole divorce. Me and you not the same. We not the same. So I never even knew nothing about you, Miss Shanika. But since you want to come fucking with me, now I got to put your business out there. Because you want to be so fucking crazy toward me. I left the little interview where it was at. I left it where it was at. But since you want to do interviews with haters, you want to say why Pappy's with me, I'm the...
So, she go ahead and she bombing and she talking crazy and like, oh, I'm gonna do this to bitches, and she said some wild shit talking about Pap into her poon. What she said? So wild.
I want to tell you the real reason why Pappy's with me, because I don't think you know. I'm gonna tell you. I'm a badass bitch. Flat out. My ass is real. My body's real. I look good as fuck in the face. I'm successful. I'm young. And the things that my little poonama can do is amazing. That's why we together. Yeah. So I just want to let you know that while you did all that, now here's your viral moment that you wanted. So since now you got your viral moment, Miss Shanika, hopefully next time when you see me face to face, know that I can say the same shit to you I'm saying right now. I can say it to your face. Unlike you, pussy. That's what you are. You're a fucking cheating pussy at that.
She talking like, talk about her box and all that. I'm like, yo, you gotta stop the antics. And you could kind of see and tell like Pap is kind of like letting her fall on the sword as far as I'm concerned. So this is the type of situation where under no circumstances should Pap, if he actually cares, or let me say this better. If he's any version of a mature adult, he shouldn't be letting her continue to do what she's doing the way that she's doing it. Because she looks crazy. She got ahead, she do another live. Miss Shanika and then Young Jock and them, they get back on the radio and they revisit the whole thing. And Jock and them is like, yeah, I didn't think that you was malicious, but I think that because it was so personal that like she in her bag about it.
I asked that question from a place of care. I'm sitting here, we're interviewing a 31-year-old champion in her field. I'm feeling her energy. It's upbeat, but you know, I can tell that there's more going on than meet the eye. And as I led in my question, I said, I've been here before. A lot of women have been there before. And what I don't like most in the way that she was even like presented to my attention was the fact that it was Remy saying her name first and saying that you were on the phone with, you know, my husband. And I was like, wait, hold on. Is this the girl with the same, you know, with the movie out and the boxer that you keep telling us about?
Right.
Putting these facts together, and over time, you know, from people speaking on the way that she looks or the way that she acts or the way that she dresses, I'm looking at this young, successful lady and I'm just like, I hate that for you. I hate that people are, you know, looking at you and your talent, but your drama and who you chose to love is overshadowing that. So yes, I wanted to know, I wanted to know what I guess most people, I didn't know that she hadn't been asked that before, but it was in my spirit. It was nothing that I wrote down on paper. It literally, girl, how long are you willing to let this overshadow your career?
It was an attack. I just felt that you're an OG, you're an older woman, and I feel like when you opened it up and you said, "I've been here before," I felt like that was your olive branch.
The bridge.
Yeah, the bridge coming into the combo, because you were trying to let her know, hey, I understand what you're coming from. But what it seems like as a man, what I saw, okay, real quick, it was like the Barbara and Shirley moment. Not you telling her about something that she got going on, but it was a personal kind of question, right?
Not the barber, the Barbara.
Barbara. That's what I Barbara. If it was a personal moment, I think that she probably would have answered that question a little differently, because I think it felt like you was coming from saying, hey, look, you're successful. You got all this going on. You are at the top of your pinnacle for what you do. You're there. Why are you subjecting yourself to this situation? It's really none of our business.
Right? So they had that conversation. Claressa going live again. Wildin'. I'm like, are you doing too much?
Wanting to give me because the person who's liked by everybody is the enemy to themselves. I'll never be enemy to me. I don't care who try to get on here and defend you because I called you fat. You sat there and called me dumb. You sat there and called me plan B. So yeah, now I'm finna say some shit about you because who the fuck you think you are? Just because y'all letting people put rumors and shit in y'all head and lie don't mean it's true. His ex want to go out there and say that bullshit long ago. Oh, living situation and manager, all this bullshit. He not my fucking manager. Why can't it be he filed for divorce because he loves somebody else? Why do they gotta be this? He's only trying to be with you for this. He's only with you for that. As if I'm not somebody who's important, beautiful, successful, young. Why you got to be all this other stuff except for the stuff of what it really is? And then when I tell you what it really is, you get mad at me. Like, come on now, like Miss Shanika, baby girl, I don't care. I think I saw one of your friends try to say something to me about calling you big or whatever. Listen, to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck what size you are. Skinny, big, pretty or ugly. It don't even concern me. But don't think you're gonna say mean stuff about me and then when I say something mean about you, now it's an issue. No. Just let me be. And I don't care.
And you really dead serious going back and forth with the radio host as if the radio host is out here trying to violate you. Only for her to end up on Cam Newton podcast to talk about the same exact topic, to now be having a conversation about Alicia and Remy. And so it's wild enough that sis went on this podcast and was completely comfortable divulging in this topic with a young man. And I want to build this up the right way, where ultimately I'm going to say that I think that it's going to sound tough. Limited levels of conscientiousness, which is associated with intellectual capacity, is the perfect breeding ground for male-centered or specific sorts of conditioning. But today we're going to talk about male-centered conditioning. All right? Hear me out. And bear with me if I sound a little crazy. I'm apologizing in advance, all right? Because I'm sorting this thought out as I'm saying it to y'all. So she gets on this podcast. She's having this conversation with Cam Newton. She's not going to talk crazy to Cam. She's going to let Cam, Jesus Christ. She's going to let Cam clip it, do whatever he's going to do with it. And it's going to be what it is. And all of the clips are going to go viral, even though it's going to center the same sort of conversation. She's sitting around laid up with somebody's husband. It's going to be the same conversation. The clips are going to come out and it's going to iterate that she's a hater. It's going to iterate that she in somebody's husband's face. It's going to iterate that she's also now hating on that wife as if the wife did something to her. Okay.
We having a baby next year.
Huh?
Yeah, we having a baby next year.
How y'all gonna have it? You gonna have a child?
Who the f else gonna have a kid?
Man, listen here now. What's the most you've ever made in boxing?
But I can't. We don't. You know how them cousins be. I can't.
Flatter.
Bro, I didn't even lose my virginity till I was like 17, 18. Y'all
That's
young?
normal.
No, it ain't. These people out here having sex while they 12, 11. Me and Papoose, he would tell you, like, we're best friends.
He's older than you, going through a divorce.
Yep.
So when a person says, hey, girl, you stupid.
I'm top of my game, got my own money, I look good. That's the problem. He was supposed to downgrade. He ain't supposed to be able to bag the greatest.
Narrative that says you broke up a happy home.
It wasn't a happy home to break up. Me and him know the truth.
Could you ever see you and Remy see eye to eye and can communicate? Ever been a time when somebody asked a question and you answered, Pap is upstairs, that Pap was not upstairs?
When do you get to decompress and be what I am? And to bring her attention. Because like you said, you don't never hear shit about the lady. You don't hear nothing she say. You said that. But I know you done heard a bunch of stuff that I done said, a bunch of stuff that I done did. She wants to be in my place, but don't want to take the fights to do it. To be number one. We all have a chance to be number one. We all do. We all have a chance to fight the best. I did it. And she's mad about the respect and the love that I get from me doing it. And she just want to be able to say, well, I'm the best and I'm just so pretty and I'm just, it's like, girl, bitch, we both pretty. You just lighter. We both look good. We both got muscles. You think that somebody's mad because you're pretty? You think I'm gonna call her ugly? Alicia look good. But bitch, I look good too. Let's not play this game. And then when it comes, now we got to talk about the accolades. I got more accolades and accomplishments than you. In the amateurs and in the pros. Then you want to talk, it's like everything we can talk about, I got more than her. More money, more respect, more belts. So it's like all the hate comes from her. She's mad at me for being great. She brings my...
So she's having all of these conversations to suggest that Pap didn't downgrade, he didn't this, he didn't that, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, with all due respect, sis, the only person that could answer those questions genuinely, sincerely related to Pap and Rem's marriage is Pap and Rem. And the fact that you feel the need to run defense on his situation, it kind of lets me know he was always okay with people falling on the sword for him. And this is the type of masterclass of deflection that really kind of gets under my skin and where I'm starting to look at her and say, there's no way that you're a trained professional and you were this much of a coward. Because the conversation, she like, yo, Alicia always talking about me, da da da. But then you spend 5 minutes on a full rant about this girl. Oh, I don't got no problem with Rem, but y'all need to talk about Rem this, Rem that, Rem this, Rem. Why are you talking about her? Why are you talking about her? When they ask about these types of things, it's like, yeah, when you ran down on Alicia, and I was one of those people that was like, yeah, I thought it was corny, but I'm also like, yeah, like they boxers. It's hostile. It's a full misunderstanding. They not cool. Like it's up, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. She ran down on her. But then it got to be on some, like, you got to see her. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, it's like, if you do all of this, this has to be the momentum and the build up to when y'all meet at a specific weight class to throw hands. You like, oh, Rem, this, that, and the other. It's not like Rem gonna fight me. You're talking crazy, my nigga. Like,
I try to avoid this conversation here about mentioning the ex. I'm trying to swivel and swerve because it's like, what I'm talking about you for? We're not gonna fight. That's not my lane. You do what you do, I do what I do.
you're the person that technically shouldn't be outside in the street fighting, but you out on these interviews and in these podcast spaces and talking about people, asking for you to get the worst case scenario, asking for it. Because I'm like, why are you inviting that type of antic and you know you can't participate in that kind of way? Equally annoyed with the fact that you're doing the same thing with Miss Shanika. Because I'm like, yeah, she's a 40-something-year-old woman on a radio show. You bucking on the radio, lady? That's corny. No problem. And Pap just steadily in the background of her lives, yeah, that's a ball right there. Yeah, that's crazy right there. The master class of deflection. I'm like, yo, he's really comfortable with the idea of her doing what he's been doing. So when he came outside and he was talking all that craziness, yeah, oh, I was a good guy. I did this, I did that. I was showing up and I was this for her, I was that for her, talking about Rem. And then when it gets real, Rem, the reason, let me not say the reason. What we seen happen in their situation was Rem took y'all text messages, put them on the internet with pawn shop receipts. Pictures of all of the stuff that you still got in her crib that you won't come and get. And then he steps outside with Claressa. And when Claressa gets online and defends it, why couldn't he just have filed for a divorce because he's in love with me? Because that is not the story that we seen and can corroborate. That's just what it is. We looking at it and it's like, oh, sis, you might. And then she keeps saying, oh, because I'm young. Girl, what do you think being young is the flex? And this is what I mean when I say, like, there's a certain limitation in conscientiousness where you think that being younger and dealing with an older dude is somehow a flex when you don't even quantify.
You're a victim.
Sitting in his face and you don't have any idea what his intentions and experiences are, that he would be better versed, that he better versed and he knows so much, because this is her own words. Yeah, he could tell me what to do, he could this, and he ain't tell you to shut up yet. Why are you still doing this? Why are you jumping up and going hard on all of these women, but then you sit in these men's face and be like, oh no. That don't make no sense to me. Here is the worst part of this whole thing. You keep talking about it's everybody else's fault and it's not me. All of this antic, all of these charades of whatever the fuck you want to call it, only for it to come down to Latto and 21 Savage have been an item for years, bro. For years. Their relationship has been off the radar, but well known for mad long, bro. She decides she gonna do a thing. She done had his baby. She done put herself out there, all this other stuff, and she got a lot of her own stuff going on, and that's a different story. But you mean to tell me that the minute that this bitch get next to you, she's getting dragged on the internet as a mistress? And this is what I mean about proximity creating problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that doesn't make any sense. Latto, people just be waiting for her to pop out. We done seen Latto with a lot of people. Latto done been outside with Drake. She done been outside with Meg, Cardi, all these Glorilla, all of these people she done chill with. Soon as she get around you, there's a whole conversation about what kind of mistress she is and being in some married man face and all of this uproar about we not doing this to her because of this, that, and the other. Meanwhile, people been giving Latto hell too. It ain't like she's been unscathed in the conversation. It's just that it hasn't bubbled up to the extent that it has at this point. So now you got this whole conversation. And this is the type of stuff that people be talking about where brands is not going to touch you with a 10-foot pole. Because how does this happen? As soon as she come next to you, this is what they talking about. Like the idea that you would become plutonium to somebody, that you are radioactive in this nature, that should be a red flag and a concern. Papoose got your back. He looking out for you. He should have been the one that came outside and said, listen, me and Rem are going through a divorce. I know that y'all used to seeing us this way, but this is not what it is no more. And Claressa don't deserve that. You coming out, well, Rem was doing this, Rem was doing that, and all you need to say, yo, they was an item for a long time. There's no way for me to come in and suddenly replace what everybody has recognized for the past however many years. This is my dude now. And like, we doing what we do. Why would that be worse than what you doing right now? What's the point in jumping up and talking about you talking greasy and Pap just on some like, yeah, that's a ball in the background, going on these Vlad interviews, talking, oh, man, like the idea that you think that people's perception of you is just made up narratives and bots and all this other stuff. And that's, again, going back to the notion of deflection. You think that if you keep saying it over and over again, that people is making it up, that everybody is just going to believe something different. When in all actuality, there are people that I think are actually fans of you, that actually like you, and is looking and saying, ooh, you might actually be an asshole. And all I keep pondering to myself is, what is the point in what you are doing? And you are so effective at being a pain in the neck that you are inadvertently becoming a pain in the neck for Latto too, just for proximity? For the walkout? You mention her for the walkout. And look, and we done got to a point now where Latto deadass came outside and was like, yeah, we're not going to keep having this conversation. We're not going to keep playing like this. Because you a victim of colorism and all this other stuff. Like, listen, And I don't want to discount the fact that I truly still believe as much as Clarissa's a pain in my ass, I still think that there's some people that do and say a lot of stuff around her that's really, 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 really wild. But at this point, I'm like, yo, you making that bed real hard. You filling that bed up with rocks, and you gonna have to put a fitted sheet over it and lay on top of that rocky, lumpy bed in a minute. And I really, really think that you should chill. Like, she should chill the hell out. Like, it's getting real goofy at this point. All that thugging out, like, yeah, I'll do this to this one, and this one's a hater on, this one is treating me bad, and not once did you say, you know what? I might be wilding. That's it. You popped on Alicia. I feel like you could have really genuinely got away with that and left it alone. Be like, yo, what's understood ain't gotta be explained. Like, yeah, she talked too much. I popped in her mouth. Keep it moving. Showing up at her event to do all that is a little crazy, but still, like, it's what it is. You did that. Running behind this nigga, and Pap just got you out here looking crazy. Out here looking crazy, but you want to tell us that we the ones that's wilding out. Oh, because he didn't downgrade. You think so? He downgrading you actively because you out here doing goofy stuff and he not pulling the chill out with all that. You out here acting half rabid dog. Like, for what? For what? Gang banging on radio hosts. Get out of here. Go relax yourself. So that you could sit in Cam Newton face and like, yeah, Pap is not my manager, that the X won a lot of this, that, and the other. He's an executive at the organization that you are signed to. You are making him money. You gonna come outside and say that he brokers your deals and he tells you what's the right move and where to go and all this other stuff. You describe him as a manager. Then when people say that he eating off your pockets, you get mad and then try to create some nuanced conversation because you think that we don't understand how executives make money off of talent. Because you think that if you talk to us like that, that we now don't understand stupid stuff, simple stuff like Lucian makes money off of Drake. Because he's an executive at UMG. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? But this is what I mean when I say, like, conscientiousness and understanding, comprehensive skills will be the avenue in which people can condition you and you believe anything. So let this be a lesson to you, I guess. You'll be careful who you chilling with, because Latto getting clipped up and getting dragged and jumping on live and explaining stuff. I just didn't expect this. I genuinely thought, like, she was going to chill. She caught her little flack when, like, her album came out. And it was like, yo, what's all of this gushy crap you talking about with 21 Savage? Okay, you love him, sis. And it was like, all right, like, I get why y'all saying all of that. But now she getting the mistress badge, and because she's sitting with damn Claressa, that's crazy. But tell me what you think. I'll see you next time.